Today, Precarious plays
Mega Man Battle Network. Chaos Online. In 20XX, the rapid advance of internet technology has created the network age. Everyone now carries a portable exploration device called PET. This personal terminal is an advanced personal digital assistant. Using it, you can make phone calls, send and receive emails, keep a calendar, store data, shop online, and check news from around the world. PET is so convenient and helpful that it has become essential for everyday life. Every pet uses a personality simulation program called Net Navigator. By customizing your pet's Navi program, you can give your Net Navi a unique personality, and even talk to it. But as the network world expands, network crime is raging. Hacking and computer virus epidemics have become a major issue. At the top of the criminal list is a mysterious organization called World 3 WWW, a group of incorrigible computer hooligans. To protect their pets, people have begun installing battle chips, special chips encoded with battle programs. When you insert a battle chip, you can arm your pet to fight off viruses and hackers. This is called virus busting, and has become so important that it is now taught in schools. Like typing. Lan is a 5th grade student. His NetNavi and best friend is Man.exe. Lan and Man.exe are both extremely skilled computer operators. In the world of virus busting, Lan and Man.exe are about to meet their match.
Hey, Rasma.
Yeah.
That thingy is so cute. It's a manual.
Oh yeah,
It's a real manual. It's like a physical piece of paper.
In full color and everything.
That's so sweet.
Mega Man Battle Network really just dumps you in without any explanation as to what's going on, so I wanted to read that to start. Just because we skipped a little of the intro, not that there was a lot to begin with. We skipped it because we couldn't access a menu to synchronize the audio and the video. Hold on, I think if you eat breakfast, you find a chip. Which, keep that in mind, this is important, right? You find a chip, IRL, because this is the real world right now.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, look how cute everybody is.
I really like Mega Man Battle Network. It is a childhood favorite. I liked playing the third one so much, which is the one that I played first, that even though it was already, at that point, effectively ancient, I went back and found a copy of the original so I could play it. So I haven't played the second one, and I haven't played the 5th one, and I haven't played any of the ones that, like, after they dropped the numbering system and they sort of branched out into their own thing. The reason why I wanted to play it on the show is it's because it's a game that I like and I want you to know about. But I would never try to make you play it yourself. Because I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah.
I think it does a really great job of balancing preparation tasks with execution tasks. A little bit of establishing the characters in the game. I love Gutsman. That is Dex's desk, if I remember correctly.
He's creepy looking.
He looks a little like his NetNavi. Kind of like how Lan and, to a certain extent, I guess, Meryl look like their NetNavis.
So
she's the exception. I don't think she really looks like her NetNavi.
this Mega Man is kind of an interesting subject for me because I've never played a Mega Man game myself for more than a couple levels. And when I played Mega Man, it was the more traditional Mega Mans that were platformers.
Mm-hmm.
And like the reason that I like Mega Man, and I do like Mega Man, even though I don't have a lot of experience with the actual games, is the art style.
Mm-hmm.
I was first introduced to
Sick burn, Lan.
I was first introduced to the art style by you, because you drew everybody like Mega Man characters. Everything. Like, you like to draw characters a lot, and every character you drew for the longest time was like Mega Man style, with the little eyes and the...
That was actually based off of Mega Man Legends, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand what you mean. We're in the net now. This is what the internet looks like in Battle Network.
So how does this differ from like the usual Mega Man game?
Well, it's a completely different genre.
Mm-hmm.
But it does inject some of the planning elements and the resource management and the precision of a Mega Man game. So Mega Man it's sort of like if you were to split the difference between Mario and Metroid,
mm-hmm.
and then ask a lot of the player on top of that.
Right.
Because it has the jumping of a Mario title, but it has the surface elements of a Metroid title with the arm-cannoned protagonist.
Yeah.
And the ranged attack.
Mm-hmm. So...
But this is an RPG. This is an action RPG.
Oh. Whereas the other one is more like a platforming shooter?
Yeah, so they are close enough to one another in that they do demand a bit of dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not just a Final Fantasy title, like an old Final Fantasy title with no ATB that you can be absolutely slothful and still succeed, right?
Right.
Let me explain a little bit about what's going on, just because that's one thing that it still bothers me now, and it bothered me then. The teacher lies to you in the very first tutorial, so I'm just going to explain it from the start, as if I'm not, talking to children.
Mm-hmm.
You can stack battle chips, up to 5 of them. You use them in order. So if I were to... I can't give a great example right now because none of the chip codes match.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just pretend like this is canon and this is mega canon.
Yeah.
But they both have chip code A.
Yeah.
If I were to put this one first, and then this one, I would have to use them in order, mega canon and then canon.
Mm-hmm.
The chips that you stack, they either have to be the same thing or they have to have the same letter code, which you can see there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually sort of a weird way to introduce it, just because there are canon chips that have other codes other than A.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason they decided to try to educate people by having them both be canons and both be A. I think it would have been more informative if this one had been a B,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you send the data, and now it goes into the real-time mode. You have a few basic resources that you have to manage outside of your chips, which are visualized above Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
You have your hit points in the upper left-hand corner. You have the custom gauge at the top. You have your Mega Buster, which is infinite ammo, but very, very weak, especially in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the map itself, which it'll be easier to demonstrate in the second tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
But you can temporarily gain or lose territory, as you'll see now. All right, so this is going to be the explanation. I'm going to start skipping through this.
So what you were doing just a second ago, that didn't look turn-based because it's not turn-based, right? Kind of?
There is a turn-based aspect that, again... okay, lady, I get it. I'll be able to show you now, because with this particular set of chips, there's no way that I'll be able to kill everyone on the enemy side of the field without resorting to the Mega Buster, which I'm not going to do. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate here is I can use a support chip to steal a column of the enemy field, right? And then I'm going to use a wide sword to slay them. But now I'm out of chips, and the only thing that I have available to me is this. And you see, that's not very effective, efficient, or fun.
Yeah.
So it is turn-based in that the optimal way to play the game is to defeat your enemies with chips. And you can only have up to 5, and there are pretty strict rules, especially in the beginning of the game, about how many chips you can actually have. So it's... the execution isn't turn-based, but there is a sort of turn-based flow, right?
Right. So you kind of set up, and then you fight. And then you set up,
and then you fight. Yeah.
Okay. And you captured territory. What good does that do? Are you just allowed to move there now, or?
Yes, and it restricts the enemy movement.
Ah, so you kind of pin them down.
Right. And I think that it fades after a certain duration. This is I don't remember how important it is in the game. If you sacrifice a turn and then just survive not doing anything, you can increase the number of chips that you have access to at once, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that is necessary for this battle. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to play normally. Now, do you have any other questions for me? Because
I have a boatload of questions. I'm just waiting for it to get into port. Okay, how do you get new chips?
Well, I'm really glad that you asked that, actually, and that... I'm really glad you asked that, and that's totally not a plan. It's funny, because I am very glad about that particular one, and didn't plan it.
They're gonna think you planned it now.
There are a few ways, right? You can buy them, you can find them, and whenever you defeat enemies, occasionally they'll drop a chip that is representative of their powers. And the reason why I'm glad you asked is because remember how I pointed out that we found a physical chip, right?
That's right, we got one at breakfast. Not good to have chips for breakfast.
Right, it's very bad to have chips for breakfast. But it's interesting that you can both find physical chips and you can buy physical chips. But then you can also get them from enemies. And what that says to me is that LAN must carry around an inexhaustible supply of blanks.
Yeah.
Which is just a cool little thing that I think is interesting,
what
right?
What if it's more of a digital download type of thing?
Well, no, because they are physical chips.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
They are trading cards. That's what this is. This is a trading card game that you have to be dexterous to play well, which is the reason why I didn't want you to play it, because I know that you love deck building games, but I didn't think that you'd want to play it. What is it? Not Avalon. What is the game that you really like and I only kind of like, so we don't play it often?
Ascension.
Ascension. I didn't think you'd want to play Ascension while also playing DMC Devil May Cry.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
So I think we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back tomorrow, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fight Gutsman.
His head is shiny. Is that normal? You think he just has a big birthmark on his face, or is it shadow?
It doesn't really match up with the big intimidating bully shadow he has on his face, does it?
No, it doesn't. Because if the light is shining off the top... Maybe he has like a little white sparkle tattoo because he's in a gang.